Hi, welcome. This is the Soul Lab. I'm Barbara from Beach Fitness.
Hi, I'm Piata.
And I'm Allie, representing Soul Healing Essentials.
Every week we get together, three friends that reconnected over, soul healing and other elaborate and different essential
Comical.
stories and different healing techniques. So this week we wanted to talk about gratitude. We're all very grateful for a lot of things in our lives, but gratitude in general has helped us so much, I think, kind of change our path, so to speak. So what are you guys most grateful for in your lives today?
Go ahead.
Okay. It's actually very interesting. This isn't necessarily a plug, it's actually part of what I need to say, but so every week we do a meditation circle, and every week I try to bring in different topics, not different topics, but different ways that I've learned that meditation has either helped me or different techniques in order to help the average person feel like, oh, I can meditate. Okay, if there's all these different ways to meditate, I can pick one that feels good to me. And the one that I was sort of learning about that I wanted to share was a passage meditation. And the interesting part is I'm doing all this research on, so that I have enough to talk about. And it was like the biggest thing in there was gratitude. And I found myself just like angrily, and just hurriedly and all full of stress, trying to cram in and I kind of went, it's ironic that you're learning about gratitude and the one thing you're skipping is just be grateful that you've already had 4 years and more to learn this stuff. And so you actually don't need to cram anything and just be grateful. And that made me stop. And then I realized that there's all these different ways around me that are already popping up. So that there's Candace.
Candace Lopez with the needle and leaf acupuncture.
I'm like a Muppet that pops in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stress is
It's
bad.
perfect. Stress
Come
is
meet
bad.
Candace. Yeah.
And gratitude is good. So when Piata got here today and I was sort of trying to relax on the floor for a second because I was just overwhelmed with all of the paperwork that I needed to put away and what do I do with it? Do I keep it? How many years do I have to keep it for? All that stuff. And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, and I'm in so much pain. My foot's in pain, my glutes in pain, and but she brought it back to the thing that she did today, which was her support.
You caught on to my reverse psychology.
And brought up that this other person that they're trying to support is in AIDS, cancer, all these things, and I definitely don't have any of those limitations.
I'm like, we're both having crazy leg problems, and
Yeah.
It's really not that bad. It really isn't.
It's not that bad. And grateful that, this sort of sounds weird, but grateful that I could work out every day, and that's probably what caused the pain in the first place. Or grateful that I have this amazing job and this amazing business that, yes, in fact, I do have to sit at a desk for a lot of the part of the day, which is also what causes the pain.
Yeah.
But grateful that I have that ability. And then also, sleep, I think, causes some of this pain, but so grateful that I've been sleeping so well in this comfortable position that later causes me pain. It's funny, it's like as long as you look back and you try to find the things that you are, in fact, grateful for, the things that you love, you can kind of just turn it around. And bringing it back down to some of the meditations, and the meditation that we did last week was a journaling meditation. So, and I think we spent a lot of time going through gratitude and the things we're grateful for in that journaling meditation, and then that led to the meditation you're going to do tonight, which is passage meditation. It's more like meditating on a certain passage, which I'm sure will have some value with gratitude.
And even that, I was going, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this? And then the minute I stopped and I just went, Ellie, just relax. It's going to be fine. Yeah. You know enough. The most perfect thing popped into my head, and the person that handed it to me is sitting right here. And I went, why don't you run it based on that? And instead of trying to be all profound and whatever, last week, how simple was last week? What we did was just a journaling meditation on the word gratitude and looking at a variety of ways of looking at it, what it means, what your definition is, how you define it, and then what you're grateful about yourself. And, it turned into a full hour, and we were, I hate to use the word busy, but we were busy with just that one word. We were full of what to say about this one word, and just how profound is that? And we don't need to be sitting here stressing about and looking for things to stress about.
It was so profound that you know, when you practice gratitude, you know, the left hemisphere of, okay, I gotta get into science. The left
We love the
hemisphere of your
science, though,
brain
yeah.
really activates a lot more. And, you know, kind of taking it back to what you were saying earlier, and you're just, you know, everything is just, blah, you know, and
Nothing's wrong, but everything's not right.
yeah, exactly. But that should have been a trigger, not only for you, but for me, because I experienced that too, that we have to consciously make a choice to become grateful and show our gratitudes and really take those little dumb steps that we don't want to do, but we know we have to do it to change those brain waves, because it actually all focuses on the frontal cortex of your brain and the prefrontal cortex. And that's basically what makes us human. And that's why Homo sapiens survived out of all the other species, is because
we have that ability to feel that way.
Yeah, we have that ability, and it's kind of like the easy way to explain it. It's like the angel and devil on our shoulders, and that's where our decisions are made.
The truth.
And when we don't have activity there, and we go through a depression, every single brainwave in a synapses, they slow down, and that's why it makes it so hard. So if we continue to keep doing things and make conscious decisions to be grateful about things, we still have little, you know, neurons on the highway still getting activated, and it'll help so much more to bring us into a happier state. So,
and which is what we talked about last week, happiness. And I do think that gratefulness and happiness go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And on that note, I think just giving a few of the ways that we provide that thankfulness or that great gratitude in our lives is the best way to talk about, give some people some tools, which is what we're about here at Soul Lab, giving you guys some tools for how to bring that in. And the simplest way is to write it down, just to take a second and to write it down, which is ultimately why we do the meditations. It's just, I mean, I don't always want to sit down and take that time to meditate, but you know you need it. So having
it's like you wouldn't necessarily skip a meal, and I don't mean skip a meal like you need to have 3 times. No, it's when you're hungry you eat.
You eat,
you know, and so you wouldn't actually even consider.
It's one more
I just
tool.
won't eat.
Yeah, it's one more tool just to take care of yourself.
You would take the time, you know, just like you take the time to get up in the morning and whatever your ritual, at some point during the day, you shower, you brush your teeth, you know, you do all these things, and yet we go, I don't have the time to meditate. No, that's actually the one thing you do have time for, because if you learn to slow down your life, you learn to slow down your mind, all your answers are a lot clearer. You're not as forgetful. You know, you don't have to rush to the office to save time, and then you go, I forgot that one document, and then you have to organize the delivery man or whoever to like, just think if you had slowed down in the first place.
No, I would say that's and 100% true.
And
and making an appointment to do it, like that's. I mean, I'm a personal trainer by trade, and I'd say most of the time, the number one thing that helps people get the most results is just making the appointment to do it. So make the appointment for yourself to meditate. Put it in your calendar, and make sure you follow that every week. Don't give yourself up first. You know, put yourself first.
That's it.
Well, also don't allow those excuses to take over. There's something really just so simple and so profound, you know, that I listened to this week, which is, it's like when you're training a puppy, you know, the puppy, if you took it off a leash, first of all, the puppy would just run wild. So you put it on a leash to kind of teach it to stay close to you. And, you know, each time puppy tries to go off a little bit, if you take it off the leash or whatever, but each time the puppy, you bring it back in, and then it goes off again, and you bring it back in, and then it tries to sneak off thinking you won't notice, and you still bring it back in. The mind is the same way. You have to train it.
Come join us for Meditations Thursday night at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.